Hey everybody, this is Fago Franklin III with New Stitch Media. I am joined with former New York Giants running back David Wilson. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining me, man. Thank you for joining me. So before we get into, your journey within the NFL as what you're doing with your project and that new album, which I definitely love, could you give my viewers some encouraging words for America right now? Because we're just going through a lot right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Everybody got to stay encouraged in their own ways and their own format. I say find something positive to do and stick to it, and just take this time to really focus in on yourself and what you can do better and how you can grow as a person through all this adversity.
Hey, man, thank you again for that, man. We need that. So, what got you into football? Like, at what age did you decide, hey, I want to become a football player?
I'll say when I was I stated that I wanted to play professional football, and I knew that's what I wanted to do in my life at age 8. And that was after I played one season. My first season, I started at age 8 playing football in an organized team format, contact football. And after that season, I just loved it so much. And I was so sad that the season was over. And I was like, man, I want to play football forever. Mm-hmm. So from there, I knew I wanted to strive for that. And one day play in the NFL. And I was able to achieve that.
So what running back was your favorite running back that you like looked up to and be like, hey, I can do exactly what he can do, and you kind of mirrored that?
Man, I really like watching Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders, and then even as I got older, I watched Clinton Portis and LaDainian Tomlinson and Tiki Barber and some of those running backs, and man, they just brought something special. Sean Alexander. I don't know if people even remember him, but yeah, he was dope too.
Mm-hmm. He was a beast, man. You can't forget about him, man. You can't forget about him.
Yeah.
So, what was it like playing for the Giants and being within that organization?
Oh man, they was definitely professional, and the fans was great. Everything was great about it. So my experience in the NFL was definitely something that I'll cherish forever.
So I know you had a severe neck injury and it kind of halted your career. Like, weren't you going through like a depression stage after you had to make that transition from the NFL to find your purpose in life?
No, immediately after I found out I couldn't play football no more, I was, on to the next. I was definitely sad that I couldn't do that no more. But I look at this depression as something where you don't know why you're sad. And you don't know where it's coming from, and you can't snap out of it because it's a real illness that people deal with. So for me, being sad from not being able to play football and knowing where that was coming from and not letting that draw over through my whole life, I immediately started finding other stuff to do. Like I said, expressing myself through my art and my writings and releasing albums and producing music, teaching myself to produce songs and compose full songs. So, like I said, find something positive to do, something that you love, something that you can be excited to do and wake up in the morning and get it done.
What inspired you to get into music? And I love that album. So tell my viewers about your album, man.
Yeah, so I started getting into music basically when I was young. I went to an art school growing up. So like all the performing arts and everything, I was, taught those skill sets. But at the same time, like I said, I was 9 years old when I said I wanted to play in the NFL. So I'm like, where's gym class? Like, where's this where I can like get active, get physical? So after I achieved that, and music has always been something I would listen to, whether it was to get me hyped for a game or to relax or whatever. Music always made everything better. And I noticed that in my life. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. The music just make everything better. And I was listening to music all the time in the car and everything. And then I was like, man, I want to learn how to create this. Because it was a point in time where I wasn't hearing the music or the positive vibes that I wanted to create. And it was hard to create that or find that. And I was like, man, I'm going to just make my own song. So then at that point, I started getting beats from like YouTube, going to recording studios and just working with what I had, using GarageBand and little stuff. But then I started getting really inclined and got to the point where I didn't need YouTube and I didn't need to go pay for a studio session. I was able to hook my mic up and hook my compressors up and hook my reverb and do my vocals and record my vocals, play the instruments, play the guitar. If I want a guitar on there, I can play the guitar, play the keyboard. And I can put these different sounds together and make the beats that you hear on my new album and all my music that I've released so far, where I'm composing and writing these lyrics to compose whole songs with choruses and verses, and just hearing it come through the speakers after you finish. You get to enjoy it. Just like
okay, Prince, I see you out there.
Purple Rain.
No, I apologize for interrupting. I just have to say that that's very inspiring that you can play all those instruments.
Yeah. So putting them all together and making beats, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed it.
Now, your album is called Far From Normal. Why did you make that the title of the album?
Because when I first started doing music, I mentioned I was getting my beats from YouTube and everything. And then I was kind of like mimicking what I was hearing on the radio. And then I started learning about the industry and the music industry and knowing that these artists, they don't write all their lyrics and they don't make all their beats. And they are, there's some that do, but there's a lot of them that don't. And the ones that do, they even stray away from it time to time. If you just check the credits, you can see that's not the case. And, I do it all myself, even down to the album artwork. Mm-hmm. And also my sound isn't in any genre. It's something for everybody on my album. So like I said, I got relaxing songs. I got energetic songs. I got, meditation music. I got party music. I got poems and spoken word. And, I haven't seen much of that being released. So for me to do that and compose the whole thing myself and write every lyric myself and play every instrument and release it just the way I did, I didn't feel like that was normal. Uh-huh. And like I said, no genre, so it's far from normal. So when people listen to my album, they shouldn't really know what to expect. Just go into it with an open mind, an open heart, and just hear the vibe.
I agree with that. So coming from a poet myself, what inspired you to get into poetry? Like for me, before you answer that, for me, it was Emily Dickinson. I was a huge fan of hers. Okay, so what inspired you to get in poetry, man?
So, I always tried to have a message with my music. So to my lyrics, it's always something like positive I'm saying or something where I'm trying to inspire. And basically, my dad would hear my music and he said, man, you saying something. Maybe turn the beat down or don't use a beat at all and just say what you got to say. He said, I feel like that'll be different and something that people could appreciate. And then that's when I was like, not necessarily have no beat, but at the same time, I can recite my lyrics and write poetry without a beat. And that's how I end up with poems on the album and, continue to do poetry. So like I said, I went to art school. We learned about writing poems and poetry and Langston Hughes and all those other poets, Maya Angelou. But for me, getting into it was basically my dad saying, you're saying something, you got a message. Sometimes just say what you got to say. So yeah, I do that with my poetry when I do that.
What does it mean to you that you can use your platform to inspire other people and encourage them in a positive manner?
Yeah, so basically I just live my life and I stand for love and positivity and just living my life and worried about walking the walk. A lot of people talk and they don't walk. So I just be who I want to be, and that's a positive and loving and driven for my goals. So people gravitate towards genuality and people that's just being their self and people that I of course have a platform from when I played in the NFL. So I got fans that trickle over into my music journey. And basically, just living and being the example. So when I do my lyrics, I'm always thinking about what I'm saying and how is this going to sound when I listen to it 10 years, 20 years from now. Because when you release a song, it's recorded and it's out there and you put it out there in the world, it could be there potentially forever. So I'm just conscious about what I'm saying because I wanted to represent who I really am. And that was part of the reason I taught myself to, make beats and produce songs because I really wanted that raw David E. Wilson vibe to come across to the world. So when I listen to it 20 years from now, I'm still proud of it.
What was your favorite memory just by playing in the NFL?
Oh man, being drafted was definitely big because that was like the moment where you could kind of like exhale and be like, man, I finally like achieved what I've been working for all these years from age 8 years old all the way to 20 years old and finally being drafted. So, that was definitely ecstatic getting that call and it changing my life and the people around me forever and in a positive way. But definitely like playing on the field and being a part of the Giants and putting that uniform on. If I had to pick one memory, it'd be the Saints game. Setting all those records and hearing the commentators say he's the first NFL player to ever. And, that'll stick with me forever. And that was big.
What was it like playing with Eli Manning? And the next question after that is, do you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? I had to ask that.
Yeah. With Eli Manning, man, it was definitely a thrill to play with him. With him being professional as he was and leading by example. He was quiet, but I definitely think he's a future Hall of Famer. And playing with him and being able to say that's who handed me the ball when I ran the touchdown, and that's who threw me a pass when I caught a touchdown. You got to catch it from a future Hall of Famer, and I'm a part of his legacy.
Amen.
I'm on that stat sheet. Yeah, I helped raise some of those stats.
I completely feel you, man.
Yeah.
So, with this weird season going on, what are the teams that you are looking forward to, continue watching?
What you saying with all sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's strange without seeing the fans in the stands and, watching the game. And it's like they got simulated audio to represent the crowd. And like you said, everything that's going on in the world with COVID, it's good to relax and be able to like still watch sports and see those guys go out there with passion and play full speed, even though the world is dealing with a lot. That's the time for people to kind of unwind, but at the same time, you can't forget what's going on. So be inspired. Those players and those teams, they really inspire a lot of people. So having them out there is important. But at first I was wary of it because like I hear like certain teams like having breakouts, and I knew that would probably be the case with them playing with a disease going around. That seems like it's contagious. So I just hope they stay safe and everybody stays safe and continue to take the proper precautions so they can continue to live long, healthy lives.
Even though he has been injured for the rest of the season, what are your thoughts about Saquon Barkley?
Oh, man, it's fun to watch him play. He's definitely a running back that if I was growing up and was watching him on TV, I would definitely be inspired by his play on the field. And to see him go down the way he did and be hurt, I just hope he make a full recovery so he can continue to do what he want to do.
Last two questions. What words of inspiration can you give people about overcoming their fears as well as obstacles in life?
So fear and obstacles. I definitely want people to overcome those because fear is all in the mind. It's something we create, and everybody has different fears. Some people might be scared of, snakes, while another person has like pet snakes. And everybody has their own fears. But when you can overcome those, and fear is only a problem. It's okay to have fears. Fear is only a problem if it's on your obstacle. So if you want to get to something and this fear is in the way, conquer that fear so you can keep going through it and keep getting to your finish line. Because if you don't and you let that stop you, that's a sad day.
Last question. Who are the two teams that are going to your Super Bowl? Who's your Super Bowl picks?
Right now,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, because there's a lot of good teams. So it's like it's early in the season, so a lot can change. I would like to see the Giants change and then all of a sudden just start winning from here on out, right? But because I bleed blue. But at the same time, just watching it early on in the season, I would say like the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like they got a real good chance versus the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have to ask this because this has been a question too. This is going to be the last question though. So if you were trying to build a franchise, who would be your quarterback? Would it be Mahomes? Will it be Wilson? Will it be Lamar Jackson? Tom Brady? Who would you pick?
If I'm starting a brand new franchise?
Yes.
Oh, man. Let's see. I'll probably go with Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, well, Tyrod. All right.
Yeah.
757. I'm from that area.
Okay.
So Tyrod.
Yeah. So, yeah, I pick him because I feel like he's very athletic. He's very professional. And he loves to win. And, I played with him personally. And I know when I was playing with him, he was a great quarterback. And I could just tell from playing with him and being on the field with him. So I know that from personal experience, and now I have that confidence that I could build my franchise around him.
Okay. So that's going to be it for the questions. Thank you for joining me, David. I want to come. I want to have you back on the show in a couple of weeks. That actually talk sports, man. And I want your picks on a couple of things.
All right, Dan. We'll be in touch.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Thank you again, and definitely have a blessed one, my friend.
For sure.
All right, now. Peace.